In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make meta ad creatives in 2026. This is a full-length meta ad creative course for free. This isn't going to be a basic film UGC video and posted tutorial. I'm going to be showing you exactly how to create high converting meta ad creatives that combat ad fatigue so you can easily scale past 100K a month profitably. This video will show you the exact step-by-step process you need to follow so that you never have to watch another video on meta ad creatives again. Let's get into it. The research, the foundation that changes everything. Before I show you the exact formats and hooks that are working right now, there's something more fundamental that most brands completely miss. And it's the reason why 90% of ads fail before they even get to the production stage. Most brands skip straight to the production, they see a competitor's ad, they copy the format, they film something similar, and then they wonder why it doesn't work. Here's what they're missing. Your competitor's only showing you the winning ads and not the 47 ads that they needed in order to find that winner, right? And you're definitely not seeing the research that told them what to test in the first place. So research is where you find the insights, and that makes your ads different. It's where you discover what the customer actually cares about versus what you think they care about. So number one, Reddit mining for real customer opinions and unexpected use cases. So go to Google and search a product plus Reddit. For example, if you see a sleep supplement, search sleep supplements Reddit. You'll find real conversations from real people talking about their problems, frustrations, and what they've already tried and what hadn't worked, what worked, etc. Screenshot everything. Look for problems customers mention that you didn't even consider. This is gold for hooks and body copy. And here's the key. The language patterns you find here are exactly how your audience speaks. Use their words, not your corporate speak. You want to be formal, you want to be relatable, etc. Right? If customers say, I wake up feeling like I got hit by a truck, don't translate that by saying poor sleep quality, right? Use those exact words. Number two, systematic review analysis across Amazon, your website, and Trustpilot. So what I'm gonna need you to do is read hundreds of reviews. Sounds tedious, but it is where the magic happens. This is where you actually get insight as to what you're trying to promote. So you're going to look for patterns in how customers actually use the product. You'll find applications the brand didn't intend but customers love. For example, a skincare brand might discover that their night cream is perfect for a makeup primer. That's a whole new angle for ads that you just discovered that you would never find within a conference room, right? So you're going to extract the verbatim quotes for hooks and body copy. When a customer says, this is the only thing that worked after trying everything, that exact phrase becomes your hook. That's what you're going to use. That's what's going to draw people in because it's relatable. Number three, competitor ad library analysis using meta ad library. So what I'm gonna need you to do is go to Facebook ad library and search your competitors. But here's the key that most people miss. Don't just look at direct competitors. What I'm gonna need you to do is look across different niches for different kinds of inspiration. If you sell supplements, look at what skincare brands are actually doing. If you sell apparel, look at home good brands, etc., right? The goal is to avoid copying what everyone else in your space is doing and try to find a unique angle that you can use when it comes to creating these ads. This is simply just because if you blend in, you lose, right? You don't stand out. Use tools like Foreplay to organize and track patterns over time. You want to see what formats are consistently being used by successful brands because consistent means that it's probably working, right? That's quite obvious. Number four, ad comment intelligence. This is huge and almost nobody does it in this space. Treat your paid ads as a focus group. Read every single comment on your ads as well as your competitors' ads. That's gold. People will tell you exactly what they think, what they're confused about, what objections they may have. Sometimes they'll reveal benefits that you didn't even know existed. If you see the same question 10 times, that's a signal that you need to address that objection in your next creative, right? If you see people asking, does this work for sensitive skin? You know, in the ad, you're gonna wanna highlight the fact that it works for sensitive skin, in other words. And if you're not addressing those issues in the ad, you're leaving money on the table. Number five, AI-assisted research using ChatGPT or Claude for rapid brand research or brand analysis. Take all the research you've gathered, Reddit threads, reviews, competitor ad screenshots, and just dump them all in a Google Drive folder. What you're then going to do is use ChatGPT or Claude with that context to synthesize insight faster, right? For example, you could ask it, what are the top 5 pain points mentioned across all these sources? Or what language patterns appear most frequently, right? The AI can spot patterns across thousands of data points that you'd miss manually. It's almost like having a research team working for you 24/7. This research phase should take you about a full day, and if it's not, then you're probably not going deep enough. Here's what this unlocks. When you do this research properly, you'll have a full document of proven angles, customer language, and insights that your competitors just won't have. You'll also know what to test before you even spend a single dollar on production. Now, once you have all this research, there's going to be a single element of your ad that determines whether or not people actually see the message. Get this wrong, and it doesn't matter how good your product is or even how compelling your offer is, people will scroll right past it, right? But if you get this right, you could distracted scroller right in their tracks. Moving on, hook development, the half second that changes everything. Basically, you have half a second to stop the scroll. Not 3 seconds, not even 1 second, half a second. So those first few words are going to be quite important, as you can imagine. In that moment, the viewer's brain is making a snap judgment. Is it worth my attention, or should I keep scrolling? If your hook doesn't trigger curiosity or pattern interruption within that half a second, you've lost them forever. It's done. So let me show you the exact hook frameworks that are crushing it right now in 2026. Exposing truth hooks. These leverage gossip and secret revealing psychology. People can't resist secrets, right? So what you're gonna do is use red bubble text and TikTok screenshot stitches. For example, POV, you just found out why your skincare isn't working and it's got nothing to do with your skin, right? That's surprising, that draws people in. The pattern here is that you're revealing information that contradicts what people currently believe. That creates instant curiosity, and that's more compelling for the viewer to finish the creative or finish watching the ad. Use AI visuals that make people say, wait, what the fuck? The goal is to make the thumb stop scrolling because the brain needs to process what it just saw. For example, we had a supplement company using an AI-generated image of someone's head literally exploding with stress, right? It was fucked up. But it stopped the scroll because people needed to understand what they just witnessed. And number 3, open loops by promising results. For example, we tested 47 protein powders and only one passed. The key term there is only one. You created curiosity about which one passed and why the others failed, and what they should avoid versus what they should give attention to. Taste tests, product comparison, before and afters, all of these work here. The viewer wants to know the outcome, so they keep watching. Number 4 is blurred curiosity hooks. Physically obscure key product elements to spark intrigue. Blur out the product name, pixelate the results, black out parts of the image, tease people, you know? You're literally forcing engagement by making them watch to see what's hidden. It's a psychological hack that almost never fails because humans hate information gaps. And number 5, the product hooks. Satisfying visuals like soap cutting ASMR, close-up hand shots with latex gloves. So number 6 is reaction hooks, right? This is huge for CPG productions. Show genuine first taste responses with wait for it captions that build anticipation. The visceral reaction, right? Eyes widening, head tilting back, saying, oh my God. All of this kind of let the viewers vicariously live through the creator. Mirror neurons start firing in the brain and the viewer starts feeling as if they're experiencing what the person on screen is. Number 7 is found footage hooks. Use iPhone zoom techniques and Snapchat style captions to mimic organic discovery, not ads. Start with, I found this at Target and I had to try it. Or my friend sent me this and ever since I've been obsessed. The goal is to make it look like user-generated content that got reposted and not a paid ad. It bypasses ad blindness completely. Number 8 is demographic hooks. Call out specific audience segments for self-qualification. If you're a busy mom who's tired of meal prepping, etc., etc. This does 2 things. It lowers CPMs by targeting exactly who should care, and it makes people feel seen. When someone says, that's exactly me, they engage and they lean in. Number 9 is TikTok comment response hooks. Use tools like Talk Comment to create fake comment graphics. Start your video responding to a comment that asks the exact question that your product solves, right? So for example, someone asked me how I got rid of my acne in 30 days. Here's what I did. This works because it feels like you're answering a real person's question and not trying to sell them a product. It's conversational, it's real, it's authentic, and doesn't look like a commercial. Number 10 is hook stacking. Now this is the advanced move that separates good ads from great ads. Combine multiple hook types for maximum thumb stopping power. Add a visual hook of someone with a bag over their head, plus a demographic call out in the caption, plus a test hook in the voiceover. For example, if you're over 40 and struggling with sleep, we tested X amount of products and only one worked, right? Which product worked? People lean in. You're hitting them from 3 angles simultaneously: visuals, captions, audio. It's nearly impossible to scroll past. The payoff here is this. When you master these hook frameworks, you'll never run out of ways to stop the scroll. You can take the same product and create 50 different hooks just by mixing and matching these different frameworks. By the way, if you would like some help implementing these research processes and hook frameworks that I just showed you, you can click the first link in the description and book a call with me. We'll analyze your current ad account, show you exactly where you're leaving money on the table, and map out a 90-day creative testing roadmap for your brand. Now here's where most brands make a critical mistake. They nail the hook, they stop the scroll, then they choose the wrong format for their messaging, and the ad dies. Because here's what nobody tells you. The same message in different formats will produce completely different results. So let me show you how to match your messaging to a format that will make it actually convert. So you've got the hook, you've stopped the scroll, now you just need to deliver your message in a format that matches the viewer's expectations and awareness level. Different formats obviously work for different stages of awareness and different types of products. Choosing the wrong format is like trying to have a deep conversation with someone in the middle of a club. The environment just doesn't match what you're trying to do. So let me break down each format and when to use it. First up, we have UGC ads. These should feel raw and authentic, not polished and scripted. Here's the mistake that most brands make, right? They overproduce the UGC. They make it look too perfect with perfect lighting, perfect framing, perfect delivery, and it just stops feeling authentic. Speed beats perfection here, 100% of the time. The lowest effort ads often outperform the high production commercials because they feel more real. They feel like your friend texting you a recommendation and not a company trying to sell you a product. But guys, I cannot stress this enough. Audio quality is extremely important. You can have a shaky video, bad lighting, filming in your car, but if the audio is ass, people will scroll. Good audio saves a bad video. Bad audio kills everything. For microphones, you can either hide them completely or make them purposeful, right? Not just slap a DJI on someone's chest and call it a day. It just destroys authenticity, and that's ultimately what you're trying to create. Second, we have founder ads. These are for telling stories and communicating the why behind the brand. In commodity categories where almost all products are the same, your story is what differentiates you from the competitors. People don't just buy products, they buy stories that they would like to be a part of. So your aim here is just to build trust and authority through vulnerability. Talk about the problem that you personally experienced and get specific, you know? When did you decide that you would have liked to solve this problem? But here's the key. You shouldn't just read the teleprompter lifelessly. I see this constantly. Founders staring at the script with dead eyes, reciting their story like a terms of service agreement, right? It just doesn't work. And bring energy, be conversational, be yourself, be genuine, you know? People like that. Pretend you're explaining this to a friend at a coffee shop and not to a room full of board directors in a consultation room, you know? Third, we have EGC, or employee-generated content. This is stuff like customer phone calls, behind-the-scenes footage of customers packing, team meetings, etc. It's more trustworthy than a polished testimonial because it feels unscripted and real. People are tired of being marketed to. They want to see what's behind the curtain. A simple video of your team packaging orders with some enthusiasm on their face can outperform a $50,000 commercial because it shows real people who actually care about what they're doing. Next up, we have podcast ads. These work great for products that need more education or have a longer consideration cycle. You're going to want to use expert and guest format. So think Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, right? Not two people that have forced banter. You're going to want to have two people that have some sort of a chemistry. One person should be the authority explaining something, and the other should be the proxy, asking questions and engaging and such. You're going to want to position your product as the only solution through the natural flow of this conversation. Don't jam it in awkwardly. Nobody likes that. Let it emerge organically. But guys, please set up your microphones properly. No fake mics that aren't plugged in, creating echoey amateur sound. That's an instant credibility killer. So if you're going to use the podcasting technique, commit to it. Next up, we have street interviews. Film genuine reactions with Mr. Beast incentives, right? Kind of like that guy that goes around the gyms and challenges people to a lift of their choice for $100. If they lift more than him, they get the $100. The on-the-go filming aesthetic feels organic to the feed, doesn't look commercial, it looks like genuine content. And ultimately that's the goal. Now, many of these people are actually paid actors, and that's fine. Just don't try to pass them off as completely random if they're not, because people will figure it out. And authenticity matters. Next up, we have static ads. These are designed for glanceability, right? Someone should be able to understand the value of the proposition within 2 seconds of viewing that ad. You know, you're going to want to use proper benefit callouts for social proof and not empty templates with generic breathable fabric or premium quality nonsense. That means proper beneficial callouts and social proof, and not these generic premium quality nonsense that just means nothing. Your copy needs to be research driven with specific claims backed by the research. For example, reduces stress by 47% in clinical trials would beat helps with stress almost every time. Next up, we have hybrid mashup videos. This is where you would combine archived footage with AI voiceovers from softwares like 11 Labs, for example. Simple, just take existing footage, change the voiceover, then boom, new ad testing, completely different angle, right? The key is building archive libraries of B-rolls that you shoot in bulk, right? Film 50 clips in one session, organize them by product and use cases, and you can remix them for months. Mini VSSLs. These are 60 to 90 second video sales letters. For these, you're going to want to use the PSA frameworks. Problem, solution, agitate frameworks. Or use hero-villain storytelling, where you kind of position your competitors or old solutions as the villain, right? You're the hero. You're what's new. You're what people need now. An example would be most supplements use synthetic ingredients that your body can't absorb. That's obviously the villain. And we use whole food sources that your body recognizes, right? You're the hero. These work great for middle of the funnel audiences who need heavy education and desire building before they're ready to buy. Next up, we have montage videos. For these, you're going to want to take existing footage, set the music for emotional engagement, and overlay your winning static ad copy. These are quick wins when you need volume fast, because you can pump out 10 of these in a day by repurposing footage that you already have, right? And finally, we have taste test content. This is CPG specific. Show the first bite reactions with visceral responses. Do flavor variety showcases. Show portability for convenience and on-the-go consumption moments, right? Like protein shakes. The more sensory you make it, obviously, the better. You're gonna wanna make people's mouth water over here. Think of when you see that food ad and you just get hungry all of a sudden. I don't know if that's everyone else, but that's definitely me. You're gonna wanna make them feel like they're tasting it in person through the video. That's the goal. Now here's the payoff of understanding these types of format. You can take one message and test it across 5 different formats within a week. Same angle, different containers, right? And you'll often find that the message you thought would work as UGC actually crushes as a static ad, or vice versa. But here's what separates brands that find one winner versus brands that find 10 winners. They understand that different formats work in different stages of the customer journey, because a new audience that's never heard of you needs a completely different approach to someone who's warm, right? Who's been exposed to you and is already considering buying. So with that said, let me show you exactly how to match your format and messaging to where someone is in their buying journey. Script writing for funnel stages, meeting people where they are. Not every format works at every stage of the funnel. You need to match your creative to your audience awareness, right? If you're showing bottle of the funnel ads to a cold audience, you're just wasting money, right? If you're showing educational top of the funnel content to hot buyers, you're wasting opportunity. So let me break this down. Top of the funnel, cold audiences. These are people that have never heard of you. They don't know your brand. They might not even know that they have the problem your product solves, right? So for these, you can use educational UGC that introduces your brand and product naturally. For example, I discovered this thing and it changed everything. Wow, what thing? What did it change? You know? Found ads also work great here for building trust and authority with people who don't know you yet. People buy from people, so show them the human aspect behind the brand. Street interviews also feel organic to the feed, so they don't trigger ad blindness. They look like content, not commercials. The goal at this stage isn't to sell, it's just to create awareness and build curiosity. Think of it as planting the seed. Then you get the middle of the funnel for your warm audiences. These people have seen your brand, but they haven't really considered buying anything yet. They just need more information. They're considering it, but they're not convinced. So what you're going to want to do is deploy mini VSSLs with heavy education about how your product works and why it's better than your competitors. Answer the question, why should I choose you over the 40 other brands that offer the same thing? For these, you're going to want to use mashup ads with AI voiceovers to rapidly test multiple messaging angles. Maybe they didn't resonate with you the first angle, but a different benefit might hook them. Podcast ads position your product as the best and only solution through expert authority. If you're listening to a podcast, you're probably assuming that the host of the podcast knows what he's talking about, and if he speaks about your product, it's going to be the best solution. And obviously having someone else say that you're the best is way more powerful than you saying you're the best could ever be. The goal here is building desire and addressing objections. You're now at the stage of nurturing the seed into a plant. Next up, you get the bottom of the funnel, the hot audiences. These are people that are ready to buy, right? They just need a slight push. They've seen your brand multiple times. They understand what you do. They're just looking for a reason to buy now. For these, static ads with strong benefit callouts and social proof would be best. You know, for example, join 47,000 customers who sleep better. Just an example. Offer-based ads with urgency and discounts really work well here. For example, last chance, 25% off ends tonight. That's urgency. It pushes people to buy before tonight, right? Before the discount ends. Also, what you're going to want to do here is testimonial compilations. Very powerful. Testimonial compilations from real customers provide the final bit of social proof that they need. For example, if it worked for them, it'll work for me. The goal here is conversation, and you're now at the stage of harvesting the plant. When you match your creatives to the funnel stage, your conversion rate can double or triple overnight without changing your product or offer. You're just showing the right message to the right person at the right time. Now, you can have the perfect message, the perfect format, and the perfect alignment, but if your production is ass, you fall off, you lose, right? And here's the thing. Production quality doesn't mean what you think it means. It's not about expensive cameras or perfect lighting. It's about understanding the fundamentals that separate winning ads from losing ads. So let me show you some production practices that are best for making your ads look professional without really looking like ads. The technical foundation. So these are the details that most people overlook, but they're the differences between an ad that feels professional and an ad that feels like an ad. Number one, speed beats perfection. I cannot stress this enough. The lowest effort ads, as stated before, often outperform the high production content. And here's why. Viewers have developed a sort of sixth sense when it comes to identifying ads, right? The more polished and perfect and prissy something looks, the more your brain says that this is trying to sell me something, and that's going to make you want to scroll, right? Test first, polish later if it wins. Don't spend $10,000 on a beautiful ad before you know that the concept actually works. Spend $200 to test the concept, and if it wins, then invest in making it beautiful and attractive. Number two is clarity over aesthetics always. Prioritize clarity over aesthetics. Beautiful, confused ads get skipped. Make the value proposition crystal clear within the first 3 seconds of the video. If someone can't understand what you're trying to sell and why they should buy it within the first 3 seconds, you've lost them. They're gone and they're not coming back. I see certain brands create these beautiful, stunning, artistic ads, but you're not really clear on what they're trying to sell until 15 minutes into the video, right? And by that time, you've already lost 95% of the viewers. Number three is emotion-driven editing. Your cuts and effects should amplify feeling and not distract from it. Don't use cheap transitions and polish on bad concepts. That's like literally putting lipstick on a pig. A zoom transition doesn't make a boring message. Think about the emotion that you want the viewer to feel, and let that guide your editing decisions. Fast cuts create urgency, and slow pans create contemplation. Match the editing to the emotion. Alright, number four, casting for demographic alignment. Your ad viewers need to see themselves reflected in your content. Don't cast wealthy looking people for a budget conscious product. It's just not attractive. It seems obvious, but I see this principle being violated time after time, and it kills conversion because viewers can't relate to the person that's on screen. Microphone visibility and audio quality. I mentioned this earlier, but it's worth repeating because it's that important. Good audio saves a bad video. Bad audio kills everything. Make your mics purposeful or hide them completely. Referring to ads. Referring to ads. The middle ground of you can kind of see it, but it looks accidental is the worst option. It breaks the immersion completely. If you're doing UGC, it's better to hide the mic completely. And if you're doing a podcast, show the mic because it's expected. But don't half-ass it. Number six, safe zone compliance. Keep your captions and key elements in safe zones to prevent cropping across different placements. Test how your ad looks on different platforms and devices. What looks good on a desktop might look a little weird when it's cropped on a mobile device, and your main message might be cut off completely. Lighting to change mood and focus. Set proper lighting for your desired emotion. Think bright and airy for energetic products, and dim or moody for luxury products. Natural window light works great for natural UGC vibes. Ring light works great for product-focused content, and studio lighting works great for premium brand positioning. Understand how camera movement can affect attention. Quick cuts create urgency, slow pans create contemplation. Shaky handheld feels authentic, and locked off tripod feels professional. And finally, platform-specific technical considerations. Instagram and TikTok have completely different formatting requirements, right? Caption placement is different, pacing expectations are different. So ultimately what you're going to want to do is optimize for aspect ratios. 9:16 for vertical stories and reels, 4:5 for feed, and 1:1 square for certain placements. Know your file size and length restrictions for every platform. A 4K video might look amazing, but if it's too large for the platform you're trying to upload it on, it might look kind of ass. The payoff here is this. When you nail these production fundamentals, your ads will feel professional without feeling like ads. They'll have the polish of a brand that really knows what it's doing, but the authenticity of content that people actually would like to watch. Now here's where things get really interesting and where you can leapfrog your competitors. Because in 2026, the brands that are winning aren't just using AI as a toy, right? They're integrating it into every part of their creative workflow to test faster, produce cheaper, and scale bigger than ever before. So let me show you how to use AI to your unfair advantage. Okay, starting off with ChatGPT for script generation and research synthesis. Feed it your research docs that I mentioned earlier. Then ask it to produce 20 script variations in minutes. That saves you so much time. But here's the thing that most people miss. You have to give it enough context. What that means is, don't just say, write me a supplement ad. Give it your research, your brand voice, your target audience, your winning ads, and your specific angles that you'd like to test. The more context you provide, the better the output. Garbage in, garbage out. Gold in, gold out. I've seen people generate 100 script variations in an hour by feeding ChatGPT specific research and asking it to create variations on different angles. What used to take a week now takes a few hours. Next up is Claude for complex analysis and strategic thinking. Use this to analyze what's working and why it's working. Feed it your winning ads and losing ads and ask it to identify the patterns. Ask it questions like, what do my top 10 performing ads have in common that my bottom 10 don't? It'll find patterns easily that you'll miss completely if you were to do it manually. Deep dive into computer patterns and extract strategic insight. It can analyze 100 competitor ads and give you a summary of trends within minutes. 3 is 11 Labs for natural sounding voiceovers, right? This replaces expensive voice actors and lets you test multiple voiceover angles instantly. You can have the same video with 10 different voiceovers testing different tones, pacing, and messaging angles, right? Professional, casual, urgent, calm, whatever you'd like, all from the same script. What used to cost $500 per voiceover now costs $10. What used to take 3 days now takes 3 minutes. Next up, we have AI image generation for static ads. Use softwares like Mid-Journey for impossible to shoot scenarios, right? Create scroll-stopping visuals that usually would cost thousands to produce traditionally. Take advantage of this. You want a picture of someone relaxing on a cloud? AI can do that effortlessly. Want a surreal video of stress physically leaving someone's body? AI can do that effortlessly. Do not undermine the power of AI, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. And finally, we have character consistency in AI video. This is our secret weapon and honestly, our biggest breakthrough in ad creative production within the last year. Traditional AI generation video showed different people every single time. You ask it to generate a person drinking a smoothie and every shot is a completely different person. And it's unusable for ads because brand consistency is essential. But with character consistency technology, we maintain the perfect character across unlimited variations. You can have the same person in 50 different videos without ever booking them for another shoot. This enables true scaling without casting limitations. And you're not depending on creator availability or budget for a reshoot. You're not dealing with scheduling nightmares or talent contracts. You create a character once, and that character can appear in unlimited scenarios, unlimited angles, unlimited formats. Same face, same brand consistency, unlimited scale. The payoff here is massive. What used to cost $50,000 in traditional production now costs $500. What used to take 4 weeks now takes 48 hours, right? You can test 50 variations for the price you used to pay for one video, and that's amazing. Now, having great ads means absolutely nothing if you don't know how to test them properly, right? Because the difference between brands that find 1 winner per month and brands that find 10 winners per month isn't luck. It's having systemic testing frameworks that tells them exactly how to test and why to test, right? So let me show you the exact framework that we use to turn creative testing into predictable science. Hook rate analysis, right? This tells you what stops the scroll. You're going to need to look at your 3-second video plays divided by impressions, right? But here's the key that everyone misses. compared to your account average, not some arbitrary benchmark that you just found on Twitter. A 25% hook rate might be amazing for one account and terrible for another. It depends on your creative history, your audience, and your production, as well as your offer. Track your own baseline and compare against that. If your average is 20% and you hit 35%, that's great. That's a winner. If your average is 40% and you hit 35%, that's a loser, even if it looks good in isolation. Number 2 is hold rate optimization. This measures how long people watch after you've hooked them. It's the percentage of people that make it to the end of your ad. Look at your retention ad and identify the exact drop-off point. If 50% of people leave at the 8-second mark, something at 8 seconds is wrong. Maybe you're taking too long to get to the payoff. Maybe there's a weird edit somewhere. Maybe the music changes abruptly. The retention graph tells you exactly where the problem is. Then you trim the dead space to reach the payoff faster, right? Cut 2 seconds off from the drop-off point and see if retention improves. This is iterative. Test, analyze, adjust, and repeat. Number 3 is the click-through rate improvement. This measures how many people watch your ad and actually click learn more. Strengthen your CTAs and offers. Test different screens. Sometimes an ad is great, but the CTA is weak. Learn more versus shop now versus get 20% off today can make a huge difference, right? Limited time. Try specificity. Join 47,000 plus customers. Try curiosity. See why this is different. Number 4, format testing across messaging angles. This is crucial and most people never do it. A message that bombs as UGC might crush as a static ad. An angle that fails as a founder ad might win as a podcast ad. Test message format combinations, not just the message in isolation. Take your best performing message and test it across 5 formats. Then take your best performing format and test it with 5 messages. You will find winning combinations that you would have never expected. Number 5 is systemic variation testing. Change one variable at a time so that you can understand causation and not just correlation, right? If you change the hook, the body, the CTA, and the formats all at once, you have no idea what really was the reason for that result, right? What drove that result? What is the new hook? Different format, stronger CTA? You don't know. Test hook variations with the same CTA and body. Then test variations with the winning hook. Then test CTA variations with the winning hook and body. It's more work up front, but it gives you actual learnings instead of lucky guesses, you know? And finally, number 6 is pattern recognition from thousands of tests. Over time, you'll build intuition for what's going to work before you even test it. You'll start predicting winners before launch based on patterns you've seen before. You'll notice things like demographic hooks outperform visual hooks for this certain type of audience, or static ads beat UGC ads for this product category. Or urgency-based CTA doesn't work for us, but curiosity-based ones crush. Build your own playbook over time. It is a process, it's going to take time. What works for your audience might be completely different from the best practices that you've read online. The payoff here is when you have a systematic framework, you stop guessing and you start knowing. You can predict with almost 70% accuracy whether an ad will win before even spending $1. That's the difference between gambling and strategy. Now, addressing ad fatigue through volume, the scale solution. Ad fatigue is the #1 killer for profitable ad accounts in 2026. Your ads will die faster than ever before. Your audience is seeing hundreds of ads per day. They're sophisticated, they recognize patterns, they tune out anything they've seen before. An ad that would run profitably in 2020 now dies within 3 days. And here's how to combat it. Build archive libraries of product footage. Shoot in bulk for rapid remixing. 1 4-hour shoot can give you enough footage for 50 ads. Film your product from every angle. Film people using it in different settings. Film close-ups, wide shots, lifestyle shots, product shots, all of those types of things. Organize by product use case and settings so that you can find what you need quickly, right? Efficiency is everything, and this is one of the main things that determine the volume that you can produce, right? Next is create hook-only footage, right? Create 20 different hooks that can be slapped onto any video. Different opening lines, different visuals, different angles. This enables rapid hook testing without full production for each variation. You can take one body and test it with 10 different hooks in a single day. What you do next is you find the winning hook and then use that hook with different bodies. Next up, we have develop systematic processes. You need to be churning out 20 to 50 plus creatives per month minimum, right? That sounds like a lot, but remember that creative is the only remaining lever. Targeting is automated, optimization is automated, So creative is what differentiates you. Build templates, build workflows, build systems that let you produce at scale without sacrificing quality. Next, we have accept that volume equals winners. This is a big thing. This is 100% a numbers game and there's no way around it. Higher creative volume directly correlates with finding more winners and maintaining profitability. If you're only testing 5 ads per month, you might only find 1 winner if you're lucky. If you test 50, you'll probably find 5 to 10 winners. The math is simple, right? More means more. And finally, we have understand 48 to 72 hour creative cycles. Ads die faster than ever in 2026. Your production speed must match your fatigue speed. And if it takes you 2 weeks to produce 1 ad, but your ad fatigues within 3 days, you're screwed. The payoff here is that when you solve for volume, ad fatigue stops being a bottleneck and starts being an opportunity, right? While your competitors are scrambling to produce their monthly creative, you're already busy testing 50 variations, finding winners that they'll never discover. Now, having ads means absolutely nothing if you don't know how to test them properly, because the difference between brands that find 1 winner per month and brands that find 10 winners per month, it's having systematic testing frameworks that tell them exactly what to test and why to test them. So let me show you the exact framework that we use to turn creative testing into a predictable science. Look, the information in this free guide genuinely has the power to completely change the growth of your e-com brand for the better. So I hope you went through all of this and got to the end with a bunch of notes and got some free value from it. At this point, you have 2 options. Either try to implement all of this yourself, spending the time, money, and headache of figuring all of this out step by step, and all of the problems you will 100% face if you're doing this for the first time. Like spending $70,000 plus on ads, but lacking the creative infrastructure to support that spend profitably. Being held hostage by production constraints when you find winning campaigns that need rapid scaling with fresh variations. Watching competitors flood the market with fresh creatives daily while you're stuck recycling the same tired angles because production was too slow and too expensive. Or get help from a team of experts that focus solely on producing high converting ad creatives with this exact playbook and have solved all of the problems you'll inevitably face, so you can just get this right the first time. And if we're being honest, if you're not already scaling profitably with creative ability that never fatigues, then you 100% need help. That's why I want you to click the first link in the description to book a call with me. This is for you if you're a 7 to 8 figure e-commerce brand and you want to avoid doing all of this yourself and want a team of experts producing Hollywood quality creatives with 48-hour turnarounds at 30 to 40% lower cost than traditional production. We'll handle everything from research to scripting to production to testing strategy, so you can focus solely on running your business while we handle the creative bottleneck. So if that's you, click the link, book a call, and I'll speak to you soon. Make sure to like this video so you can easily find it again. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on meta ad strategy, AI-powered creative production, and scaling e-commerce brands. And I'll see you again soon.